and welcome back to the Canadian Gamer Reviews. Today I'll be reviewing Final Fantasy IV, The After Years for the WiiWare. This is the main title screen of the game. There's a tutorial on how to play, new game, load game, select story, adjust screen, and you can also purchase some add-on content. I purchased everything in here, so I'm just going to show you what there is to offer. Basically there's the main story, which is for 800 points, which is the main download you get. And then these are all the downloadable contents, which are 300 points each. And when the final epilogue comes out, which brings all the stories together, that's going to be another 800 points, and I believe that comes out in August. So every character has their own side story, and here you can actually select their story to play that instead of the main quest. So let's go ahead and just load up a game I already have started here. So as you can see, the graphic style is still the same as the old 16-bit version of Final Fantasy IV. Pretty much the game feels the same. It feels like a sequel in reality. The battle system is basically the same, except one thing I noticed is that enemies in the further rows, if there's enemies in front of them, you do less damage to the enemy in the back. Which would pretty much be similar to how they do damage to you when you're in the back row, right? So here you got all your white magic, and attack, and there's a new command called band, where you can search for bands among other characters, so 2 or 3 characters can do a band together. Or there's preset ones, which is / I have there, which I've learned. So once you find a band, you learn it, so then you can always use that technique. I find that pretty useful, especially for bosses and things like that, or if you're in a tight situation, it can come in handy. In here you can check your bands. So far I've only learned the / one. But the only thing is, with these bands, MP is consumed. And depending on the band, it'll tell you how much MP. This is the equipment screen. Pretty standard for Final Fantasy games, especially the older ones. Get your settings. Yeah, one thing I found about this game was that I felt like I had to level up really quickly to match the enemy's strength. I'm having a lot of fun with it, but I feel like they sort of rushed it. That they could have added on to it. And also I noticed that I did level up very quickly. Within the first couple of hours I was already at level 28. So far it's been a very good sequel. You feel connected to the first game. This is another battle here going on. One thing that Theodore can do is he can use what's called Awaken, which gives him extra power, and basically powers up the character. The only issue with using that is at the end of the battle you're left with 1 HP. So unless you want to use a lot of high potions or cures or whatnot, you should only use it in tight situations or in boss battles. So there I'm at 1 HP. So I'm going to use a couple of high potions. Now let's go ahead and start up a new game here, so I can show you how it brings you into the game. So this is basically the intro into the game, left off from the Final Fantasy IV. If you haven't played Final Fantasy IV, I highly recommend it. It's a very good game. It's one of my favorite of the Final Fantasy series. So here you can see the overworld and the airship flying around, which brings you a really nice nostalgia feeling if you've played the original. So there's the new main character on the very right there at the top. His name is Theodore. He's the son of Cecil and Rosa. This is the Red Wings. It's the initiation of Theodore to become a full-fledged Red Wing. So for graphics, it's really hard to rate graphics for this kind of a game because it was made specifically in this art style. However, if it comes down to matching the original, I would have to give it a 5 out of 5 stars, just because it's bang on. It's got the same art, feels very much the same. For audio, again, it's the same music, same sound effects. Of course, there's new additions as well, but you hear the same things from before. So that as well, I'll have to say 5. As for gameplay, as I was saying, the leveling system, I think they kind of rushed it. What they should have done was they should have made level 50 the level cap. But instead, they want everyone to get to a higher level, so that way they make you level faster. You need less experience to level, and therefore you're feeling pushed to level because enemies are doing so much damage to you. So for gameplay, I'll have to say it still gets a 4 out of 5 because it is a very good game. It's very fun. So yeah, I'll have to say 4 stars for that. And for multiplayer, there is no multiplayer whatsoever. There is, how I said, the downloadable content as well. But the only thing is, I feel that if I bought the game, I should have got most of that with it. Like if they came out with like 1 or 2 downloadable things, that would be fine. But because most of the story, if you want to enjoy the whole game, you're gonna need to spend points for it, and it'll end up costing you, I would say, around $50 for this game. If you want the game plus all the downloadable content along with it. So that kind of upset me at first, but I got over it because I still really had fun with this game. For that factor, multiplayer online capabilities or downloadable content, I'm gonna have to give it a 2 out of 5 stars. Thanks for watching the review. There'll be another one coming next week. Keep subscribed to my channel.